welcome back to the Mania podcast. I'm your host, as always, the Media Maverick. And to my right, it's my amazing co-host, the modern day gentleman, Gary Swirls. Gary, welcome to the show again.
I'm happy to be back, Mike. It is awesome to be doing this with you. Once again, I have returned. I missed out on last week with Necro Butcher and Samoa Joe, but here to make it up to you. And we are going to be diving into Dark Side of the Rings episode on the Big Boss Man.
I can't wait.
I'm looking forward to this.
I am too. That's
what it was. And it's become kind of a touchstone for inspiration in the great zeitgeist of wrestling. To me, I think that's when pro wrestling can be at its very best.
I won him over with my ability to not quit.
I was watching this on with you.
So
I was.
I'm gonna mute this for a second. I don't know if you know this, but Joe said this in the episode. The only reason he did this match was to get some ass from his girlfriend.
That's right. I did. Isn't that crazy? How one person was just trying to make good and have a wrestling match and knew it was going to be a death war, and the other one was just trying to get some ass. Oh, pro wrestling.
Oh, Joe. It's just.
Oh, Joe.
And here we go. We're about to get right into a boss man.
Oh, wow.
In wrestling's 1980s golden age, the Big Boss Man built his name as a defining villain of the era.
Demon man! You see a man who likes to make people suffer!
He was an evil prison guard that took advantage of the poor inmates.
You know this is totally uncalled for.
And beat them down with a nightstick.
Big Boss Man wants to do some torturing here.
And forced them to serve hard time.
Big Boss Man was an exceptional heel because he was believable.
Some would say he's a cold.
Oh, wow. No.
Feel the pain, the whole pain, and nothing but the pain!
After reaching massive heights in the 80s, the Boss Man's character took a controversial turn during the fabled Attitude Era.
The Big Boss Man was a great performer in the ring, but it pisses me off to this day that people remember him for feeding guys dogs and desecrating corpses at funerals.
Who in the
Sorry.
with this idea? I got to go to school the next day and explain this to my friends and peers.
The Boss Man hanging from the south!
Oh,
Ring
my.
Trailer's hardest battles were with addiction in an industry fueled by painkillers.
Look at the pain on the kisser of the Big Boss Man.
I think that all men, they want to hide that they hurt.
It gets tiring to physically be in pain every day. It's hard.
I do wonder if those doctors really knew the can of worms they were opening up.
I've always said that the wrestling business will find your weakness, it will prey upon it, and it will kill you.
All right, so I want to mute this for a second. I want to bring this up.
Yeah.
The painkiller trial with Vince McMahon, the steroids and all that. There was a trial during that time where Vince McMahon was on trial for he knew what was going on in his locker rooms and he was allowing it.
Yeah. I was just going to say the steroid trial of 93 is very infamous. I mean, Dark Side of the Ring even touched on that themselves. I wonder if the main... it's just kind of shocking to me. And we're seeing a guy who was primed, during that time. And I don't use that word in a good way. I mean that as in this man went through so much in his career. It's just fascinating.
It is.
This is Dad in Arsenio Hall.
Let me speak to the Big Boss Man for a minute.
Oh, that's right. He was on Arsenio Hall. Many people don't remember that.
This is the long arm of the law.
That is very heavy. It's the real deal. It's the real deal.
That's the trademark nightstick.
This should be an automatic disqualification right here.
I don't even think I understood his place in wrestling history and just how popular he was.
He was in...
My name's Lacey Trailer, daughter of Ray Trailer, the Big Boss Man. Big Boss Man, the character, he had so many great feuds and matches. But the real guy, he was a big sweetheart. He was a great dad.
Lacey, this is for you, for when you get old. I want you to see how little, how scrawny you was.
Ray Traylor was a girl dad. My mom used to joke, I'm the boss man's boss. I was born bossy, I'll die bossy. I ran a tight ship with my old man. I can't tell you how many times we had him posted up, putting makeup on him. I always felt loved, and we spent a lot of time laughing.
I'm Clifford the dog. What's your name?
I love that you saved all this stuff.
You know, because I loved him so much, that was it. I just loved that man. And I was always so proud of him, so I just wanted to keep everything, you know? I am Angela Traylor, and I was married to Ray Traylor, the big boss man. We went to high school together. He was a foot taller than everybody in school.
Right, they were childhood.
Ray from the other end of the hall, over everybody. I had this little crush on him, so I had to cut.
So I just put the math together in my head.
Oh.
Big Boss Man passed away in 2004. He's been gone over 20 years. 22 years he's been gone from this world.
It's so crazy. And literally, as you see, we're talking here, they've known each other since childhood. Like, that's really rare in a world where you find love, and it dates all the way back to being like the kids in elementary school. That's crazy.
It is. Like, R.I.P. to the Big Boss Man. He had like 41 years old, and he had more to give. He had more to give, not just to pro wrestling, but to the world.
I absolutely agree with that. Right, R.I.P. Ray Traylor, aka R.I.P. Big Boss Man.
Ray joins Jim Crockett Promotions, a rapidly expanding competitor to the WWF.
This is a match.
We paid the money for him
Ow,
training and
don't
everything,
you
and he only had time to do like 2 trainings, and the rest of the training he got while he was on the road.
Crazy, isn't it?
I mean, he never wrestled a day in his life, and he's, you know, within 2 weeks he was on the road with, you know, wrestling Dusty all over the place.
Right.
Dusty Rhodes was a top babyface star and also the booker. He knew talent when he saw it.
Yes.
I'm Jim Cornette, and at one time, Ray Traylor was my bodyguard.
That's right.
The indestructible Bubba Rogers, my personal bodyguard.
I was a wimpy mama's boy from a rich family in Louisville, Kentucky, and the fans were beating the shit out of me.
Get away from me, get him, Dennis! Drive away from me!
The idea of having a bodyguard appealed to me legitimately.
And anybody else that wants to lay a finger on me or do me any kind of harm, you're gonna have to go through Bubba Rogers.
Ray said, I worked as a guard at Cobb County. They taught us to be able to contain people. I said, well, contain these sumbitches all you want.
Here comes this guy. He comes down, he's in the crowd, right? He was trying to hit Cornette. Well, Ray just took his fist and slammed the guy, knocked his teeth out of his head.
Oh.
I didn't have anybody coming over the rail anymore because they were scared of Bubba. This was a goddamn badass.
The baddest man in the world, Big Bubba Rogers!
Dusty understood that Bubba had to have an aura. So when Bubba does something, it's like a movie monster. Leading up to the big confrontation between Dusty Rhodes and Big Bubba
that's
Rogers,
important.
Dusty comes in with a chair, and Dusty had told Klondike to build the ring guy, gimmick the chair, so when I hit him, it breaks. Dusty Paul Bunyan's this chair right over his head.
That's right, because
the seat blows out. It doesn't even knock his hat off. It's one of the most memorable pieces of video that we ever shot.
I find that
We go
interesting,
back in
though.
the back.
It's like, what it dares.
Oh, great job on the chair. He's like, I forgot.
Just knocked him over the head. Like, just didn't even phase the Big Boss Man. Didn't even
Which is,
phase him.
I would have thought wooden chairs didn't hurt. I guess back in the day, they really effing did. And like, oh my gosh, the shot of that was just perfect.
Worked both jobs for a while, but a lot of the prisoners started recognizing him from TV.
Right.
He'd be rowdy when he'd come into work, and then he was asking for days off because he was trying to keep from the road. The warden called him in his office, and he said, "Ray, you got to make a decision. Are you going to be a correctional officer, or are you going to be a wrestler?"
Oh, yeah, no.
So I guess I'm a wrestler. Never looked back.
Booked in a dangerous, high-profile match, Ray's career hits a crossroads.
By the end of 1986, Bubba was in our corner when the Midnight Express faced the Road Warriors in a scaffold match.
The infamous, the one where.
But then Dusty wanted the Road Warriors to chase me up to the top of the scaffold and drop into Big Bubba's clutches. I'm glad he didn't play center field because he fumbled that catch. When I landed, it blew the ACL in my right knee. And then came Starrcade 87, but this time they wanted Bubba to go up there.
The big man, 350 pounds.
Oh my God.
He's going to throw him off. But as he's closing in on him, Ricky Morton punched him in the balls and ran away. After the match was over, we all got $10,000 apiece. Bubba got $5,000. He felt disrespected.
Ray, he realized he wasn't making the same as these other guys, but he was working just as hard and taking just as much abuse. And at this point, we were living poor when we were talking about moving back to my parents' house. He said, I'm quitting.
At the same time, word had been getting out about Ray, who is that size and that agile, and he's already proven to be a draw. Vince heard about that.
Accepting the invitation, Ray flies to New York to meet with WWF promoter Vince McMahon.
You some vicious sense. I didn't even sleep.
For anybody unfamiliar with Vince McMahon and his outlook on wrestling, bigger is better. He liked Hulk Hogan, who looked like a superhero, and he wanted super villains to fight him.
When talent comes in, their first stop is at the office of Vince McMahon. Jerry Briscoe here. Well, I'm here to talk to you about a very good friend of mine, the Big Boss Man. I had the pleasure of sitting there and listening to these interviews when new characters come in. And Vince, well, what have you done? What's your background? You could see those wheels in Vince McMahon's head just starting to churn.
When Vince heard that Bubba had been a prison guard, that was the icing on the cake. Not only has he got a guy that's big enough to fight Hulk Hogan toe-to-toe, now there's the gimmick. Prison guard. Makes you serve hard time. It was tailor-made.
Vince asked him what the prisoners called him. And he said, boss.
I've said this almost every episode of Dark Side. The people that get to reenact, like whoever's reenacting the Big Boss Man in the cutaway scenes, Darkseid does an awesome job combining actual footage with reenactments. They do an awesome job.
They do an amazing job, and it's kind of eerie. Like, I thought that was Big Boss Man right there in the shot. To be honest with you, that tripped me out a little bit. So that's pretty remarkable.
It is.
What is going on here?
After a successful
look at that hair.
McMahon immediately thrusts Boss Man into the spotlight.
Bubba got in the spot that most people only dream of.
And you'll be singing the Hulkamania Prison Blues, brother.
When he attacked Hogan on the Brother Love show,
Look out, right at us.
There was no stopping him.
You gotta serve some hard time, Hogan, with a hard man, the Big Boss Man.
The Boss Man's feud with Hulk Hogan builds to an epic steel cage match. The biggest moment of Ray Traylor's career.
It's a cage match, the most difficult match in all of wrestling. Hogan's in for some punishment.
They kind of glossed.
Cages look so different back then to what you see in pro wrestling today.
Yeah, I was just going to say this cage, the blue cage felt real. Like, it felt authentic. The cages you see now, yeah, they still hurt, but ultimately it's just not something about the blue cage is cool. You know, I'm kind of surprised they kind of glossed over. Did they not? Weren't the Twin Towers during this time a tag team?
Yeah.
I was just
Maybe
going
they're
to say.
just talking about his singles career. Maybe right now they're talking about his singles career.
Interesting.
Well, we got our first commercial.
I'm gonna munch down on some Reese's pretzel fill.
I'm just gonna drink me some water.
Yup.
To quote the water boy, some high quality H2O. This has been a pretty good episode so far. Like we're 14 minutes in, 15 minutes in, and it's like living up to the hype.
It really is, and honestly, it's telling a nice, beautiful story about the big boss man and how he. It's amazing. You get to learn and understand and where he came from. Meeting meeting his childhood sweetheart. How often do you get to hear that? Like that's
Not very
crazy.
often at all.
Then you also got him being real corrections on it. What did you think about that singlet and his match with Tully Blanchard? Like, it's weird to see him in wrestling gear, isn't
It
it?
didn't look like it fit him very well.
I was just gonna say it looked like somebody from the back just like said, "Hey, here's a black singlet. Put that on, and here's some knee pads and some wrestling boots. Go out there and go have a and go do a job for Tully Blanchard."
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't get Tully for the episode, like for that moment.
Yeah, I was gonna say that played a big part in Big Boss Man's career. Like he was the one that started it all, essentially. So that is interesting
It is.
and amazing that Dusty Rhodes was able to, out of all the people that were like, he knew Big Boss Man had talent, and it's fascinating. It's really really interesting.
It is. It very much is.
I feel like we're only just touched the tip of the iceberg here. Oh, what's up? We got comments? Do we got anybody?
We have no comments yet.
Oh.
Not one comment yet. But I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what else they talk about with this, because this episode is an hour long. It's going to be an hour long episode. I can't, and they're only 15 minutes in, and it's just like already like it's hitting the nail right on the head.
We're waiting for you viewers. Where you guys at?
Come on, y'all. Let us know some comments. Like, come on, let's get some comments going.
Are you not entertained yet? Are we having? Are you not having fun, pal? Oh, Double J.
Oh yeah, they're probably they're just showing. They're trying to get you to watch Dark Side.
They are. They really, really are. Oh boy. Oh, Dark Side of the Cage actually recently dropped as well. So that one I'm kind of interested in. Seen a couple of episodes there, like Don Fry, and there's a Conor McGregor match that happened. So ironically enough, the man that knocked himself out has his own Dark Side of the Ring his Dark Side of the Cage, episode.
Mm-hmm. Enjoying this so far. Hope we get season 10. I hope we get season 10 too.
Oh, really? Season 10? I think season 20.
Mm-hmm. Like,
because dang well
in wrestling. Mm-hmm.
Because brawl out has to happen soon. We have to talk about that. And that'll probably be eons before we're gone.
Even if Darkseid doesn't do an episode of the Brawl Out at all, we will definitely cover that. We're gonna do our own Darkseid episode.
Okay. I'm down. Okay, heck yeah, I'm definitely down for that.
Because we could definitely dig into that.
I think we could definitely dig into that.
Hulk Hogan's superplex off the cage to the Big Boss Man elevates their match to legendary status.
Everybody remembers when Hulk Hogan gave the Big Boss Man a superplex off the top of the steel cage. And the people, because they didn't see it coming.
Oh, I heard.
That was unheard of for Hogan to do something that daring, but also for a guy that size of Boss Man to take that bump was unheard of.
When I saw that, holy cow, this guy, he's not only a good performer and a good man, he's not afraid to sacrifice his body for the good of a match.
One of the most grueling matches in World Wrestling Federation history.
The Boss Man's feud with Hogan cements Ray Traylor as a main event attraction.
The old ring card.
The Big Boss Man, from the time of his arrival in the WWF, was
WrestleMania 3
figured
and WrestleMania
among the
6.
top stars. He called me one week. He said, "Jimmy, guess how much money I made last week?" I'm like, "How much?" He said, $12,000.
Aww.
He made the same amount in one paycheck as he did for a whole entire year as a correctional officer. Money does change your life, and it does make things easier, or it can make things harder. But it did not change Ray one bit. We lived in nice neighborhoods in a nice home, but we had nothing in common with anybody in there.
The one thing that Vince did that no other promoters were able to do is go out and make his guys mainstream names. Big Boss Man showed up on Arsenio Hall.
How did you feel when Hulk Hogan was whipping his ass?
That's where Big Boss Man started
Arsenio
crossing
Hall.
over into being a celebrity.
Though originally cast as a
What a
villain,
top,
the
a
Big
top
Boss
stuff,
Man
though.
becomes a
And
new
it
fan
had
favorite.
every wrestler on. I had Bad News Brown on
Vince
at one
waited
point in
till the
time.
time
Jerry
was
Cartel.
right, and then slowly he started making Boss Man a babyface.
That's right.
For a second. You know what's really sad? I might be wrong on this, but I've played them. Like, a lot of the new WWE games don't even have him as a playable character. Like,
Really?
what? Yeah, they don't have Big Boss Man. You can't even unlock him. Like, he's not even on the roster or anything and they do these showcases where they show, like, they do Attitude Era timeline, like, in their story modes, and like in the showcases they've done Attitude Era showcases in their 2K games. And Big Boss Man, can't remember the last one he was in, but it was before. It was at least before
Oh.
2K15. I think the last one he was
Actually no, 2K17 when they had the Hall of Fame showcase, he was technically in there, but that doesn't really count, does it? Like, it wasn't like a story that you could look back and gloss over and be like, "Oh, this is who this is. Oh, the slam the slam buddy or the brawling buddy." That had to be one of the cooler ones in the commercials.
Yeah, but they also don't you can't play as Big Boss Man in any of the. If you do play as him, you have to make him yourself. Like, you have to make a character from scratch that closely resembles Big Boss Man. Like, they don't have him as an actual playable character. Like, WWE does not put him in their games.
Which is weird. Doesn't he have a Legends deal? Rougeau. Oh, that's a good one.
You're not in my league, brother.
Oh,
that's bottom line. My name is Jacques Rougeau, but you may remember me as.
Hold on. I just saw him. Sunday. I just watched him Sunday
at Redemption.
Buy-in. Yeah. Is that man?
No, but I was a real jerk. I think the big blow-off was a jailhouse match. It was decisive. There was only one law enforcement officer, and it was the Big Boss Man. In those days, we were on the road 25 days a month, bumping, hurting themselves, giving their mind to traveling, canceled flights. Your kids are waiting for you at home. You miss them so much. The state of mind of the person that's giving its body and toll for 25 days a month, he's suffering.
People don't see what goes on for real sometimes. How hard it is to, be a family when you're away 300 days a year.
Dad, he was on the road so much in my very early childhood.
For those that don't know this, I don't care if you're an indie wrestler, I don't care if you're signed to one of the major promotions, but that schedule takes its toll, not just physically, but you miss a lot of stuff.
You miss so much time. You miss birthdays.
You miss birthdays. You miss holidays.
Weddings,
funerals,
graduations. I mean, it takes a toll eventually to the point where it's like this becomes your life, and the only time you're home is when you're going to sleep. And maybe you see your family once or twice a week, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so this is what they're like. Let's just let them just
Championship Wrestling, which is luring away WWF talent with big money and a lighter schedule.
With WCW, all of his buddies only worked 150 days a year for the same amount of money.
I'm very thankful that he ended up going to WCW.
Lacey, pose for me.
We were able to spend a lot more time with him and do a lot more stuff together as a family. He loved taking us on trips. Deep sea fishing was always a fun one, and we had a beautiful home with the lake that he was really proud of. So we spent a lot of time there also, just fishing and doing redneck stuff.
Steiner is as tough as the great athlete, like a Big Bubba, like a Rick Steiner in this sport.
We had such a great...
When Bossman joined WCW, his whole attire, he no longer donned the blue shirt you're so used to seeing him wear and all that.
Or a black shirt, yeah.
Yeah, he went to all black.
Mm-hmm.
Ray couldn't be Big Boss Man in WCW because Vince owned the character.
Yes.
So it ended up a revolving door of stupid names and ridiculous gimmicks. And because it was in the news and it was a branch of law enforcement, loosely, one of them was the Guardian Angel.
That's right.
You into the worldwide group known as the Guardian Angel.
That idiot Curtis Sliwa and his ridiculous group of unarmed citizens that wanted to make a world a better place. I'm surprised they didn't make him a meter maid. But it wasn't really as rotten as it would be when he went back to the WWF. Despite the fact that Ray Traylor was one of the most talented guys of the past 10 years in the business, he is now remembered for taking part in some of the worst wrestling television that has ever been perpetrated on the air.
I disagree with that.
It's Cornette. Cornette is...
Yeah, we know.
Cornette's bitter.
We know where this is going. We know exactly where this is going to go. Let me tell you something, bro. What we're going to do is this, bro. The Big Boss Man is going to be Vince McMahon's security. Bro, I'm telling you, he is going to be a monster, an amazing... Oh, my God. I can't even explain it, bro. Now I have nightmare fuel for you for the rest of the night, Mike.
Cornette, man. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if it was in the first episode we did of Dark Side of the Watch Along, but Cornette is so bitter. He says he wants to outlive Vince Russo,
so he can piss on his grave.
Yeah, and, you know what Vince has said to that? He said, "Good luck, pal. I'm going to be cremated."
You don't think for 1 second he's going to try and find those ashes before they get spread out? Now, let me tell you something. He'll find the earth.
Open it up.
Open it up, baby. Open it up right now. All right, Vince Russo. I've been waiting a long time for you, mother. All right, that is.
Cornette's going to be using a walker to do it. He's going to be on a walker at that point.
I don't think he'll need a walker. I think he's just gonna get surgery in all of his knees, and he'll be walking like no tomorrow. He'll be in better shape than all of us at some point in time. Who knows? Oh boy, I know. I think see him saying that though. If we could go back for a second, I think that's some of the best. That's no. We don't have no. I'm saying like just go back for like a split second to what Jim Cornette just said. We don't have to actually go back. I'm just saying like. Isn't it funny how that's actually some of the more stuff that he's remembered for? I mean, obviously, two different eras, of course, like the Attitude Era and the Golden Age era. But Bossman had some of the funnier, dare I say, infamous stuff that he was a part of, like with Al Snow and the Dog, the Hardcore Championship. Yeah. What do we got?
I thought tonight's episode was about the greatest wrestler ever, Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin, and how many people he murdered with a single punch.
I don't think that's coming up yet. Is that an episode?
If it is, it's not this one.
I was gonna say it can't be this season. The next one I think is it's interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see.
Ronnie Garvin's a real man. Don't let that fool you.
Let's see.
Oh, we're back.
Okay, here we go.
With new talent and edgier storylines.
The feud between Vince McMahon and Stone Cold Steve Austin was the single hottest money-drawing rivalry in professional wrestling.
When you have very strong characters and put them together, the shit writes itself. Obviously, the Big Boss Man was well defined as a character for years and years and years. My name is Vince Russo, and I was the head writer of the WWF during the Attitude Era. When we brought Ray...
I have a question.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
How do they get Vince and Jim on the show? Like, do they gotta record their stuff separately? That way they don't have to be in the same room?
I would think so. I would also have to think it's like different schedules. They probably had to think, okay, this week Vince Russo, next week Jim Cornette. Okay. You know, they probably had to go down the list and have to be like, it'd be really cool. You know what we should do? Let's just test the waters. Let's have Vince Russo, bro, and let's have old Jimmy Boy, Jimmy Cornette in the same room. Sorry, my Jim Cornette impression's horrible, but
hell would freeze over.
Oh man,
Boss
man, if you will.
That was a great spot.
Teach him a lesson.
It was always cool to get to watch him on TV. I remember Mom having people over and ordering pay-per-view. I'm gonna go to school the next day, and a bunch of kids are gonna be like, "I watched your dad on TV last night." Man, what a cool life I've gotten to live.
Are you around Stone Cold and The Rock and all these guys?
I love The Rock.
You smell what The Rock is cooking.
Rocky's birthday is on Dad's birthday, and so every year
What?
we made him cards.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, The Rock.
It's an oh shit moment.
That's a that is a definitely oh shit moment.
That is an oh shit moment. All right, hell yeah.
Okay then.
But yeah,
All
I
right.
loved it. And that would have been amazing to see a Steve Austin and a Big Boss Man feud.
Oh, that would have been cool.
You would think there would be the Big Boss Man and Steve Austin. We didn't get that.
Why?
I'm going to paint the picture for you. We're going to do this spot. Vince, myself, we're going to interfere in the match.
It's a bad man to be hurt with.
The Boss Man's supposed to hit Stone Cold with a chair and knock him out. I see Boss Man backstage. Ray had been going over his match with Undertaker for the last hour. And I told Ray, you better be there. Here comes the spot. We start walking out. Vince elbows me. Where's Boss Man? I look and oh shit.
I'm watching on the monitor. I know this is Boss Man's spot. He's standing right next to me in the back. And I said, bro, you're supposed to be out there. The holy shit look on his face.
Oh, man.
Stone Cold's down. There's a chair introduced in the ring. There's no Boss Man. And I look at Vince and do it. Mind you, Stone Cold just come off this edge from having the broken neck. So I'm thinking, Briscoe, if you hurt this guy, you're going to get fired. Oh, shit. That was awful. Stone Cold come to the back, man. He chewed Boss Man out.
He missed his cue. He was in the dressing room talking to The Undertaker. And I love Ray Traylor to death, but I cussed that up and down.
I remember Dad being really upset with himself about that one, because he really dropped the ball there.
After that spot, his push kind of started just slowly dying out, and then where he would just another guy after that.
After a mistake cost Ray a high-profile feud with Steve Austin, the Boss Man's next storyline shocks audiences and his family.
It's the Hell
At WrestleMania 99, Bossman got the opportunity to face The Undertaker in a cage match, and that would have been great on its own. But then, unfortunately, other forces took over.
As a writer, I've got to think of something that you've never...
So, Vince Russo was the guy that wrote this part? Are you shitting me? He wrote the Big Boss Man getting hung in the cage.
I'm
In
shocked.
the Hell in the Cell.
I'm shocked.
How was this allowed on national television?
How was this allowed on pay-per-view? At WrestleMania, no less.
Yeah.
So, look.
Vince, how did you allow this?
Just the thing. In a perfect world, had Boss Man not been calling his match with The Undertaker in the back, we would have had a Big Boss Man Steve Austin match. A program, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, man, that kind of... Damn.
Just because he missed his cue to go out.
When nobody in the back could have been like, hey, you know, don't forget your cue, or Vince Russo could have done a better job at, like, enforcing that to, like, have him at the curtain or whatever, and it's like, man.
It's Vince Russo. Vince Russo's going to be Vince Russo till his dying day.
Well, no.
I just can't believe they're kind of glossing over the tag scene that Bossman was in. They're just glossing all over. They're not even really talking about
The
it.
Twin Towers, him and Ken Shamrock. I mean, like, there's a lot that they're kind of missing here. Like,
Yeah.
I would love to hear Ken Shamrock talk about One Man Gang too, because he's still alive.
I get you only have an hour to tell the story, but like you're just basically glossing like maybe you talk about it for like a split second and that's it.
Because he won the tag titles numerous times. I think with both Shamrock. Oh,
Actually, he only won the tag titles once his whole career in WWE.
Really? I thought he won it with the Twin Towers.
He won the hardcore title 4 times.
Oh, that's right. Because I remember he did beat Road Dogg at one point in time.
Yeah, because I'm sitting here, I'm looking at his Wikipedia right now.
Huh. Wow. So he only won the hardcore title 4 times and the tag title only once? Damn.
Yep, 1 time with Ken Shamrock. Then he won some other title in UWF as Universal Wrestling Federation.
Oh, that's right. That was the promotion that got bought out by Jim Crockett Promotions. He was their heavyweight champion. He faced off with Dr. Dusty Williams for the title, I want to say. So, and they actually made an action figure of that one with the UWF title.
Shocking scene unfolds. Bossman's family watches from ringside.
They were ringside for this?
It was controversial. You're not supposed to hang people on television by the neck. They basically had public lynching.
Apparently that was one of the first times his family came to see him wrestle.
Oh my God! Now that I did not know. That's horrific.
I'll never forget watching my dad hanging there, and I thought,
literally,
is this necessary?
He did polite.
Once again, WWE pushing the envelope until it's just teetered on the edge there.
He wasn't happy about the storyline, but what's he gonna do? He has to do it anyway.
Of course, there was a harness and etc., but how do you come back from a hanging?
You can't.
After the controversial storyline, Ray realizes he needs to be honest with his children about the business.
There did come a point in time where Dad had to sit me down and explain the industry, because the storylines that he was wrapped up in is a nightmare for a school-aged child.
That's the beauty of professional.
That hardcore title, I'm sorry, it looked horrendous. That title looked horrendous.
That hardcore title is a trophy in history. That's one of my favorite looking titles. Just because it's old and broken, there's a little beauty behind it. Oh, and Al Snow with head. Oh shoot, that's a good pick.
As Al Snow,
Goddamn.
my whole character or persona was that I suffered from schizophrenia, so I was free to do absolutely anything to be entertaining. Bossman and I are feuding. At one point, Bossman kidnaps my dog, Pepper. Not only is it my dog, this is my friend.
Do you not remember that? Oh no.
I am out. Bossman says he'll give me the dog back, but we have to sit down and eat first.
Will you do me a favor? Try not to get one of them paws stuck in your teeth.
And then that's where I find out.
100% grade A pepper.
He chopped it up, cooked it, and then fed it to me.
What the?
How do you explain to your friends that your dad didn't chop some guy's dog up and feed it to him?
Yeah, tastes like chicken.
When fans today talk about the worst moments of wrestling.
But if I could have a son as stupid as you, I'd have wished
Oh,
for cancer so I would die too.
Fans talk about Big Show's father's funeral.
All of a sudden, Big Boss Man taking a rope and chain.
Daddy always wanted to be a drag queen, Big Show. I'm gonna make him a drag queen right here.
And start dragging a casket. It was sick, but it was great.
Oh, they're laughing.
I remember getting mean mugged as a child by teenagers just because of who he was.
They know what to do with that nightstick.
It was embarrassing for me. But at the end of the day, he was trying to get that check to feed his family. I remember being horrified seeing him have a glass busted over his head.
Oh, damn.
And the glass doesn't shatter how it's supposed to. He can't play with us because he's so beat up from the road that we're bringing in ice packs for him around the clock, and he's just in immense amount of pain.
He started self-medicating, and then he figured out, well, I can work as long as I have medicine.
Okay, I feel like we need to talk about this. We were talking about the mental toll it takes on you being a wrestler, but they're just right here.
Physical toll.
You get addicted to painkillers, sleep medicine.
Percocet.
Yeah, like it's like your body gets beat up.
I'm very glad that you and I are coming from a place where that's no longer like accepted anymore. Like it's frowned upon more than anything. It's so sad to know that this man had to put his body through this, like, and to have to just take a pill or take painkillers or the worst kind of addiction you could possibly have, and it's awful, like. This kind of stuff.
Thankfully, pain relieving medicine has come a long way from you. You don't have to take painkillers anymore. There's like procedures you can have done to not have to take those medicines. Anymore.
There's other ways to go get yourself healed and be able to survive. I mean, like, there's other avenues you can go, and you don't have to, cold plunging. Saunas, I guess, in a way. Like there's other ways of therapy for you to get healed and get help, Oh.
There's suction cup. There's those suction cup therapy. There's massages.
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you can do that whatever works for you, works for you. Ultimately, it's up to your body and how it reacts to what helps you heal. Like that's what it comes down to. I can't imagine like now going back and watching all this stuff with Big Boss Man in the Attitude Era, which to me, like that's kind of how I found all of his matches on YouTube and stuff and all the hardcore stuff. And it's like, do you feel like that's going to play a part in affecting a lot of people who are going to go back after watching this episode of Dark Side of the Ring? They're going to be like, oh, shoot. Or do you think people are just going to be like, well, watch the episode, but what he did, we can absolutely do, but we can still watch it. Do you think that's going to rift people in a way? Like, do you think that's what causes people to change their mind about the Attitude Era, maybe?
I think people will see some of the spots he does is like, oh, maybe this would cause some of the injuries he had and cause some of the like from them watching the episode, like seeing some of the especially we saw like how his eye looked after he got hit with the glass and all
Oh
that.
yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, like
I
some of these
wonder.
spots, like some of these spots can go wrong.
Absolutely, it can. Any match can go wrong, even off the little things, and especially like the fact that the glass didn't break off. Like, ugh, fuck.
Yeah.
It's sad. It really is. Like, I'm very glad we've come a long way in wrestling, and that you don't have to worry about headshots and chair shots and all that. You know, it's. I mean, obviously they're safe for rare occasions. Obviously, like AEW or heck, even WWE. But I'm glad that's been deviated and that's more police now than ever. And we see so many wrestlers. I mean, look at wrestling. I mean, not to talk or anything about SummerSlam coming up, but like, there's Nick Aldis is probably the youngest person on that SummerSlam card. He's 46 years old, and looking at his body and his physique, and obviously people see him as like the really official, but like Nick Aldis was the national treasure in TNA, and like what I'm trying to say is like I'm glad we are away from stuff like that in the business.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely changed a lot from that time. Like I remember when Triple H and Undertaker had that Hell in a Cell match with
schedule, increasing his dependency on prescription painkillers.
Ray probably couldn't walk without pain meds at this point. His back was out, his knees hurt him. I mean, he was just in such bad shape. When he goes back on the road, he starts hitting the medicine really heavy.
Ray's addiction is fueled by prescriptions from doctors across the country.
Back before there was a database, we had doctors everywhere. So one guy said, hey, I got a guy in Atlanta, blah, blah, blah.
I knew Dr. Aston when I was in my early 20s. He was a diet pill doctor. And I guess Ray must have asked him to write pain pills. I think he was kind of a wrestling fan because he would write whatever they told him.
A pill pusher, a drug dealer.
You're giving this man 150 somas, 150 pain pills, or testosterone too. You know, I mean, whatever you want.
It's like, you have the money, people let you do what you want, and I think that's disgusting.
You can talk to all the Atlanta guys from WCW or WWE. There's a ton of them that came through there. So many of them are in the graveyard right now.
And I knew Chris was going there.
Chris who?
Benoit.
New charges for the Georgia doctor who...
Okay, we're gonna...
No, Chris... Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
We're not I'm not touching that can
Nope.
of worms.
Nope.
I'm not touching that can.
I'm not touching that either. We do not need any comments about that. Nope. Stay out.
Did you know that this medication was as addictive as it is? Did they ever tell them, hey, you're going to get physiologically dependent upon this chemical and it's going to be hell on you to come off of? Did you know that people were going to get hurt?
In 2003, Ray's contract expires, leaving him searching for a new line of work.
A lot of people don't know this, but he ran for commissioner for Paulding County. The night of the election, Ray was messed up on pills. He couldn't even hardly walk, but everybody protected him, and that was just a breaking point for me. We separated.
As Ray continues battling addiction, a longtime friend succumbs to theirs.
Your heart can only take so much of certain things.
I know Mr. Perfect and Bossman, they were good friends. Like behind the scenes, they were friends. They were good friends.
Yeah, they were the best of, if not.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame that,
they're both gone from this world way too soon.
Oh wow! Look, this is a whole list of all the wrestlers that have died at a young age.
Terry did her damage, distracted Mark Merrill, and right here, boom!
Unless you were in our world back in the day, In the late 80s, the 90s, Attitude Era, you just have no clue. Hi everyone, I am Terry Reynolds, and Big Boss Man Ray Traylor is one of my dearest friends. The reason we have so many deaths in our industry, I believe, is because we don't have an off season. If you are injured, then you lose your spot. And then somebody else comes in and takes your spot and takes your money, basically.
With these guys in that era and the amount of pain that they were in, it was just a byproduct of the industry. And sacrificing your body to the sport like that.
You have to make that decision. Am I going to live or am I going to die?
After Kurt passed away, he had a change of perspective.
He wasn't a lost cause. He loved his family enough that he was willing to do what he had to do. He said, "Can I come back home?" He wanted us to renew our vows and start all over. And that was just perfect. And then I never saw him get messed up again.
Returning to his family, Ray maintains his sobriety despite struggling with chronic pain.
He was sitting in front of the TV, his knees was hurting. He could not stop his knees from hurting. He told the girls, Daddy's hurting, I'll be up there in about 30 minutes to tuck y'all. So I went on up there and I read to the girls. One of them wanted something to drink. So when I go down the stairs, he was just laid back like this in a seat. I didn't think anything about it except for the color. His color just didn't look right.
I'll never forget it when we heard Mom scream.
Got the phone, I'm calling 911. She told me I've got to get him out of the chair and put him flat on the ground. I'm like, you don't know what you're asking. And she said, I don't care what you gotta do, you gotta get him flat on the ground.
I had just learned CPR in health class that week. And so I started chest compressions. I just remember hoping that I'm compressing hard enough and just, saying to God in your head, please let him live. It's like I could taste his last breath on my mouth. And I knew in that moment that my life changed forever.
I don't know how I would handle that, honestly. I've been that I've been where that daughter was. I've found, and like the wife was saying, like he was a big guy. Like you were asking her, that small woman to get that big guy into the floor.
Yeah. It's I mean that's the worst that a child has to go through, especially like knowing that her dad isn't gonna make it and you're doing everything you can to save his life and just learn how to do CPR.
And their kids were just they were teenagers. They didn't like you said, she had just learned CPR, so like she was hoping she was doing it right.
They were trying to do the best that they could so they could save their dad, and that's crazy to me. It just happened so fast, and
This really,
it's a gut wrenching season, that's for sure.
like, Darkseid really knows how to pull on the heartstrings. Like with the Jeff Jarrett episode and the Darkseid episode, or with the Necro Butcher episode, like with with the Jeff episode, they talked about his first wife having cancer, and then with Necro Butcher, they talked about his cancer battle. I'm like, y'all just really just know how to pull on the heartstrings and get to people.
They know how to get people invest, in, in, and engaged is the right word. Engaged into this and how important these notes are and all these episodes. There's so much that goes on that we don't even realize. We don't realize for our own self. It's
And you were talking about it, the list of wrestlers they were showing that had issues with painkillers and all that. Like you had Eddie Guerrero, you had Lex Luger, you had
Chris
the
Candido.
yeah, you had the fabulous the Sherry who
There,
used to manage Macho Man Randy Savage.
you had all these people die so young in their 30s and 40s that it makes you really wonder what if they didn't go down this path. There was a time where, like I said, I wholeheartedly believe if there was a union back in the day, I feel like things would it would be a different story. I truly believe that.
Just
I wish there.
Vince back then demanded a lot of his talent. That he wanted them to work 300 some days a year.
Yeah, we just had that thing that people can't have to be on the go, and if you, God forbid, spoke up, then you were fired, which is sad to me, which is really really sad to me.
At 41 years of age, Ray Traylor dies of a heart attack.
Of course, his whole family have all died of heart issues really young.
You have survivor's guilt, right? Is it my fault? Did I do it right? People would say to me, I'm so sorry, or I know how you feel. No, you don't. You don't.
And it's Bubba Rogers. Bubba's an old friend of the Cornette family from Louisville, Kentucky, and he's been a friend for a long time.
Me and the Midnight Express were like a week away from our first reunion. And he died like the week before the first one we did. Give me a second. '86 was my favorite year in wrestling because I was with my friends, Midnight Express, and Bubba became the fourth member. We were both early 20s, making a fortune,
He's going to win that cage match, baby.
living our dream. And I think that was just my favorite time because I don't know that it was that fun anymore after that. I liked that guy.
I was so traumatized by his death. It took me over a decade to even be able to think about his wrestling career. I felt robbed a little bit because I was so young when he passed away. For a long time, I felt angry. I really got cynical there for a little bit. I'm amazed that I've made it to the age I am now. I've struggled, I've overcome stuff, I've messed up, and had to fix it. I'm grateful that in spite of my trauma, it doesn't define me. I work in the behavioral health space. We like to say addiction is the opposite of connection. I used to worry that speaking about this struggle that he had, that people would hate me for it. But now I really realize that it's important to talk about. It's a part of his story, and it's a part of my story, because it was hard.
The teachable story here is that there's always a comeback if you want it, and it lets people know they can change.
I never thought I would have liked wrestling, but really I would say into my 20s, it clicked for me. In 2016 for the Hall of Fame, my coworkers was like, "Big Boss Man's your dad?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "That is so cool." And I was like, "Wait, you guys think this is cool?"
I want to start off by just saying thank you to all the fans for keeping Dad's memory alive all these years.
As you grow older and you have hindsight, how blessed am I to have gotten to share him with so many people.
When Ray went into the ring, he had the stick, but when he came home, he had his heart. And he loved his family, and everyone that knew Ray knows how he loved his family.
The thing I miss most is with Ray is the fact that he smiles, everyone smiles. And anytime goes by that you don't have a Ray conversation, that you don't remember something funny.
Now that is a butt.
Yeah. God, I love his laugh.
I think Ray's legacy in the wrestling business is that he'll be one of those all-time villains and a wonderful human being. Even though Ray fed me my dog, I still think he's a great guy.
The Big Boss Man should be remembered by all the fans and the kids who liked him and looked up to him. Law, Order, and Justice. I remember Bubba. To me, he was just a great guy.
Ray Traylor, if I could speak to you today, I would tell you how much I love you, and we still love you, and you still make us laugh, and you always will.
I love you. And thank you.
Thank you for being such a wonderful person.
Oh boy.
That's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
To
It's
me,
like,
Big Boss Man is one of those villains, but it's also like one of the big villains of that time. But he's also a what if, like what if.
Big Boss Man to me is
I was gonna,
okay.
this is crazy.
Sorry.
I was gonna say
I know.
if they showed it in the episode, if he wouldn't have missed that cue with Stone Cold, like what if, just what if.
To me, the Big Boss Man would be one of those big guys in wrestling who was always up on his feet, and no matter what he did in the ring, he made you feel. He made you feel whether he was a babyface or whether he was a heel. He made you feel, and most importantly, for all the stuff that he was given, he's one of those guys that took it and ran with it, no matter what. And you know what? It is a big what if. What if he did win the WWF Championship from Stone Cold Steve Austin? He had just not missed his cue. You know, like it begs to differ. Like, could somebody have just been there? Had Vince Russo have done something? Could Jerry Briscoe or Pat Patterson have nudged him just a little bit more and just gotten him like, hey, you really need to be on your game? Could Taker have, like, I mean, there's so many what ifs that you could be there, but it's like if we dwell on the what ifs, we should remember him for what he has accomplished, and that is a lot. He's one of those villains that made you feel for all the stuff that he was fed in the 80s and even in the 90s, in the Attitude Era, in my opinion, some of his best work. Big Boss Man, to me, in a lot of people's memories, he'll always be one of those greatest of all time. I mean, somebody's like top 100, top 20, top 30. And honestly, I would have loved to see him win the Intercontinental title or the WWF Championship at least once. So,
Just to
I feel
me,
bad.
towards the ending with Jim Cornette, you saw Jim Cornette, he couldn't even find the words. He got up and just walked away because he missed his friend.
Just think, imagine if he. But
I was gonna say, I was gonna end it with like they were just like Jim said, they were just a week away from doing their reunion.
I was just gonna say, imagine if we would have had Big Boss Man alive today, and he was here at all these WrestleCons or these Comic Cons or whatever. People, he would be happy. I feel like he would be so happy about that.
To me, like just the other night, just imagine if Big Boss Man was alive and you just had the Mountie show up at AEW Redemption. What if Boss Man was alive and you had the Mountie and out comes Big Boss Man to interrupt the hometown man? Because they were in Canada and the Mountie, like, you would have had the Boss Man trying to come out and interrupt the Mountie in his home country. Like, just the what ifs of what could have been with some of these moments that could have been involved in.
Who'd have thought maybe Big Boss Man, Big Brother Rogers for an AEW appearance? How cool would that have been? Or
And I feel like we need to talk about it.
yeah,
We talked about it at towards the beginning, the steroid trial of '91. I wonder, like, I wonder what could have been. Like, I don't know if Bossman was on steroids, but we know he was on painkillers and stuff to help with his pain he was
yeah.
dealing with. I I wonder what would happen if there's more, like, if it was things were more strict, like harder to get those kind of pills. I wonder if we would have had more time with the boss man.
I wonder if maybe it, if it wasn't such a requirement. Yes, back in the day, they said you don't have to be on steroids, but we want you to be on steroids. I wonder if the verbiage of all that would have been. It, I really wish we didn't have this in our culture, in our world, and it's what's revolved around. It's like there's so many people that are great wrestlers that didn't need to take steroids or any pills or anything like that, and it's a shame that there's a big body count of that in professional wrestling, and you know you feel for them, their families, especially Ray Traylor's family, his daughters, what they had to endure to have to revive and to have to be a part of, his teenage daughter just learned CPR for goodness sake, and
Right,
there's
and
that.
the daughter and the wife talked about it. The one doctor was just prescribing him whatever he wanted because he was a wrestling fan. Like, to me, that doctor should have been held accountable for that. Hey, he needed to be held accountable.
Absolutely, he needs to be held accountable, and to have just said, "Oh, just give me whatever money you can, and give me, I'll get you what you need." It's like, no,
Yeah,
it's
just
fucked up.
as always, Vice and Dark Side, they put together an episode where it starts out one way and somewhere in that episode it's gonna play on your heartstring. It's gonna tug right at your heart and it's gonna hit you hard.
And one way or another, it's going to make you feel and it's going to make you remember.
And
R.I.P.
I'm surprised they mentioned one name in the episode. I'm surprised they mentioned that name.
We won't mention his name again out of respect. And not even out of respect, we won't cross that path. We just won't.
That's a can of worms that you will never see this podcast open. We will not open that can.
We will
Because
not touch on something.
once you open that can, there's so much to unpack with that one can.
Anybody that still memorializes him. I mean, hell, I was one of those people that did at one point, but I've taken him off my list of 100 of wrestlers that I have. I can't. I just at any point in time he could have stopped, but what this business has done, so many people, so many lives, so many families. We do it because we want to put a smile on people's faces. I'm glad that that's what our narrative is around it could be, not because of pills and keep maintaining a spot or whatever.
Yeah.
We're human. We're human at the end of the day.
Because they mentioned it. If you get hurt, someone else comes up and takes your spot, takes your paycheck, and
Yeah.
you're just left there looking stupid.
You're left there sitting in catering, like, dang. It's. I'm glad we are away from that. I'm glad that the business has changed and opened a door for other avenues where I feel like there's so much, and I hope I'm not like steering off subject here, but I'm glad there's so many other wrestling promotions that you could pretty much live your best life. I mean that.
For sure.
Like, there's so many companies that are out there right now. Like, everybody has dreams and aspirations to make it to the top companies, but there's other companies to say, hey, I did okay in wrestling. I'm speaking in general here. Like, I did okay. I landed somewhere and I got to create a memory for my family and my friends.
Yeah, because
And
I have an example. Josh Alexander from TNA, now in AEW, he's
yes,
gone on the record saying he had a contract with TNA and still had to work another job just to make the ends.
that's right. Yep, he was a construction worker.
Yeah. Just because you see these guys with a major TV contract, that means fuck all. It means jack.
It doesn't mean that they're be all end all. They still remain humble and are just everyday human. They're everyday human beings just like you and I. And
It's not even just that. It's like some of these guys still have to work another job just because that contract doesn't cover everything.
yeah, it doesn't mean just because you can have all the money in the world, but you still have to keep yourself grounded and work the job that everybody else is working. It's just it amazes me how many more avenues and how many wrestling companies there are in the world now. And coming off of like the pandemic and stuff, and seeing where it's taken a trajectory. Like I said, I feel like if Ray Traylor was alive, I think he'd be proud of everybody. I feel
Well, I feel like this was another good episode to do a watch along of. It pulled us back. It that's what I love about Dark Side. It's not going to show you the all sunshine and rainbows. It's not going to show you that. It's going to pull back the curtain, and you might not like what you see behind that curtain. And I honestly can't wait to see what the next episode is. The next episode is August 4th, Ultimate Fantasy: The Fall of Renegade. I'm wondering about that one. That seems like it's going to be another episode to unpack.
I am actually interested in that one because I remember hearing stuff about the Renegade and WCW and what he did. I don't know too much about the guy personally though, so that's going to be fascinating.
Make sure y'all tune in next Tuesday night, 9 p.m. EST, to unpack another episode of Dark Side. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been your host, the Media Maverick Mike Weldon. This has been my awesome co-host, the modern day gentleman, Gary Swirls. And make sure you catch us on the flip side.